Hey guys! So today is this very special video. I'm going to be talking about tip jars and how to support artists and why you should support artists and yeah. This won't be like my normal videos in like I normally have bullet points and stuff to talk about. But when it comes to tip jars, I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory, so I am going to explain it though for those of you guys who don't know. I have had many people be very sweet and ask me like, oh, where's a Patreon? They want to support me. They want to support my friends, and in the description of all my videos, I have my resources, and I've had a lot of people ask, like, what's this buy me a Ko-fi thing? And that is pretty much a tip jar. And people use Ko-fi, they use PayPal.me. Some of them use Patreon. As you guys know, I don't have one as of the time of recording this. I do plan on making a Patreon in the future, and I'm in talks with Aerofx with us making a joint Patreon, but that's still a little ways away. And I want to just kind of talk about, what tip jars are and what the point of them is, and if you need to mandatorily tip an artist. No, you don't. I'm just gonna be flat right there. You don't have to tip anybody. Shocker. I know. It actually really gets under my skin when people beg for tips, and I know a lot of my friends are the same way. And it doesn't feel as right. See, and then I've heard people use the example of like, well, if you go to a restaurant or get your hair done or have someone fix your car or you get a pizza delivered, you always tip the person, and it's like you don't have to tip the person. You want to tip the person, and that's kind of where people are probably gonna get mad at me for this. But I always feel like if you've done your job and you've done a good job, then you get a tip. And that's how I've kind of always been. So yes, there have been times where I haven't tipped service members because I have worked many of those jobs, and I can very much tell the difference when if you're a waitress or a waiter and it's, rush hour and you're booking and it's packed, when, you're flirting with the table next to me and my food comes to me cold because you wanted to flirt with the table next to me instead of do your job. Sorry. Plus, I have a lot of friends who work in the service industry, and half the time, most of those places are shared tips anyway. And most of those times when you get shared tips with people, there's that one asshole that just doesn't want to do their job because they know, well, it's shared tips, so if I'm on shift with someone who's really good, I'm gonna get a chunk of their tip. And that's never been fair to me. And same goes for hairdressers. I've had some horror stories there. And it is polite to tip. It is nice to tip. I love tips. But am I saying, oh my god, guys, if you really like my content, if you want me to keep doing my content, make sure that if you watch my video, you can just tip $1. It's fine. It's fine. To me, that's very rude. It's, whenever I get a tip, I am extremely excited about it because I feel like I have earned it, or, people like my content so much they want to support me, and it means the world to me. I don't feel like it's a handout because I see a lot of people doing it like, oh my god, something happened, and here's my tip jar, here's this, and I'm like, okay, it's a tip jar, not a please help me jar. And that's what I like about websites like Buy Me a Ko-fi and PayPal.me and stuff like that, is most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time people use it. Like how I use it. It's like, especially with Buy Me a Ko-fi, I mostly use it to support my caffeine habit because I have a terrible tea and coffee addict. But a lot of other people do it for things like that. They do it for nice things. They give back, which I always try to do. Whenever, I have spare income, I like tipping artists I support and things like that. And I think that's something that a lot of artists need to do that a lot of us really don't. They really don't. And money is always a factor. This is true. Not everyone has disposable income, like I've said time and time again. But you'll see people in the artist community, and I'm getting a lot of people who, are starting out and learning, and you're gonna run into people in the artist world who they love art, they love doing art, they love getting art for their characters, but then themselves actually paying for it, no, they don't like that, and that's always sat wrong with me, Even when I worked in the food industry, I still ate at food places to support them, and when I'm low on money, obviously I can't, but I would do everything I could. I would do shout outs, I would help them out like that. And I feel like as artists, we kind of need to support each other and get that elitist mentality out of our heads. And I say elitist because most of the artists who don't support other artists, they don't do it because they don't have the money. They do it because they don't want to do it. I have had people openly tell me, oh, well, why would I commission someone? I would just draw it myself. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can be an asshole and you can do that, but, you know, if you want people to support you, you need to support other people. Obviously, like I always say, don't go bankrupt over it, but you have some spare money, help a friend out, you know, help another artist you admire. Even if you're a patron for like a month, that could help them out too. And this isn't sponsored. Buy me a Ko-fi, PayPal, and Patreon aren't paying me to say this. This is just shit that I've discovered and learned in my art experience, in my art life. And I wanted to make a little picture to go along with it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I should explain much else of what it is, you know. It's a way to support people if you like it. So if you see artists out there where they're talking about buy me a coffees, that's probably what they're talking about. You know, it's not actually going to a Starbucks and buying someone a coffee. I mean, some people do. I mean, that's what I do. But, you know, I'm rambling. But that was just it, and I want to get my little 2 cents in. And stay tuned for later this week, not on my channel, but on Aerofix Draconis' channel, a very special, very long-awaited video we've both been working on for a very long time is going up this week. So I'm going to leave it here. And if you guys have any other questions, if you have questions that maybe I didn't answer properly about tip jars and that kind of stuff and why they're there and all that junk, comment below. I'll answer the best I can. And as always, guys, I will see you next time. Bye!